At the moment, the market is saying, hey, crypto investor, fuck you very much. And we'll be like, yeah, thanks, I guess. This is bad for the people that were fully invested already. So I hope you are not. If you were, make sure to check out the last video that I posted on this channel, because it's not the end. There are many things that you can do about it. In this video, however, I'd like to look at specific altcoins. The altcoins that the community mentioned and asked for. So if you, for one of the next videos, feel like, man, take a look at this one, let me know down below. Please write a comment with your favorite altcoins. I can take a look at that. For now, let's see how these specific altcoins are doing right now and what the good entry points might be. All I ask in return is like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. We had a video with more than 400 likes. I never thought, I don't even like myself. So that's really good. That's really good. So please like this one as well, man. Like this one as well. That helps me push it into YouTube's algorithm, trick them into thinking that this is good content, okay? Now, first off, this video shooting has been shot one day before it came out. So the price of Bitcoin might be a little different, but you should not care because I'm doing this for the long term, okay? I'm not a trader. If you're looking to trade, then, yeah, sorry, you came to the wrong channel. Then I would say go follow Eric Crown or whoever. This is for investing. This is for buying right now and make sure to sell in as close to the top of the next bull market as we can, okay? So that's the high time frame trade, basically. It's all trading. For now, Bitcoin, 61K. Okay. Now the thing is, though, I want to go over this very quickly. If you look at the Bitcoin production cost, so what it costs for the miners to produce a Bitcoin, it's interesting because that's around 60K. And if you look at Bitcoin's history, it's the red line, right? This red line. If you look at Bitcoin's history, the price of Bitcoin never really went below it, right? You have these wicks. Right, these wicks of 1 or 2 days maybe, but overall this is in the full history of Bitcoin really the floor, the base for Bitcoin. Now, of course, for the first time in 15 years it could be different. Of course, I'm not saying that it can't, but based on that, it's quite likely to me to say that 60K might be a bottom for this cycle. But don't blame me if we're going to 50 or 40 or 8 capo, right? It could all happen. It's crypto after all. We have no idea. But this is looking quite bullish. However, the altcoin market, is that looking bullish? Well, no, not really, right? The altcoin market is taking, it looks like it went into a cage with Mike Tyson, prime Tyson, right? And yeah, Tyson did his thing. It did its thing, right? And I mean, it will come back. For sure it will come back. That's the whole purpose of this channel, to give everybody a positive outlook on the coming months, years. I'm not here sitting to pretending that I can know what's going to happen tomorrow. I have no fucking clue, right? Tomorrow it could all be up, could all be down, no clue. But overall, based on the 2 brain cells that I apply on these charts, I think that this could really go up. We have QE coming, we have money printing, which is definitely coming at some point. We have good inflation rates. The presidential elections are more bullish for crypto than they have ever been. And if you just look at the 4-year cycles, post-halving years are alt-season years, period. Also, could this time be different? Yet it could all be different. But nobody ever got rich by trading that, okay? Nobody. But hey, maybe this time is different. It could all be. So the altcoin market, yeah, it found its low and it made some kind of a double bottom. And at this moment, it looks like it wants to hold this level, the 218 billion as support. But yeah, who knows? I mean, like Crown said it once, very poetical. If Bitcoin sneezes, altcoins get AIDS. And that's exactly what's happening right now. This is one big fat AIDS party over here. It's all red. It's not good. It's not good. So these are opportunities right now. These are the moments where you want to get in. And again, it might sound a little contradiction. How do you say that? I'm Dutch, okay? So forgive me if I don't find the right words, but find the right gems. That's the most important. But sometimes I say, hey, this is the best opportunity ever. And sometimes I say it could go down more. Yeah. it sounds like it doesn't really make sense, but it's because I don't know if it goes down more. Of course, I don't know. So what I'm basically saying is I am DCAing these dips right now because it is really dippy, right? But it could get more dippity dip shit. And if that happens, you don't want to be out of funds. So therefore I'm basically saying DCA, okay? I am not going all in right here. Definitely not. If the altcoin market, however, goes to this level, I might consider that. But that's the question if that's going to happen. So what altcoins has this community on their radar? So somebody asked, is Aethir worth a punt? And I don't know from the top of my head what a punt is, but if the question is Aethir worth it, then I can give at least my opinion about that. And that's the thing. If you look at Aethir, then it's a very new project which released on a pretty high valuation. And you want to be extremely careful with that, okay? The projects lately, this year, that released with high valuations are all down fucking hard, okay? This one isn't yet because it's really new, but it can go down very hard. Why? Well, because one, there are too many projects in the space right now and not enough money. The people that are in crypto, they are in a loss, right? They don't feel like, oh, let me buy this new project and that new project. They're more like, let me save whatever the fuck is left and wait for better times. And that's super understandable. So with these new projects, I don't know. Also, if I look this difference between the market cap and the fully diluted market cap, it has an 11x vesting coming. Now, I don't know about the specific vesting for Aethir, but I know that a lot is going to the node holders. And I am a node holder, for example. So in all honesty, yeah, I will dump on you. Of course, duh. If I get my tokens daily for free and the market is down, then I feel like, okay, let's sell these tokens because the market is down and I can buy some coins that can go up, right? These node holders will dump the token. So I think that for projects like Aethir, they really have to come with some sick news and some extreme use cases that you cannot deny. Otherwise, the sell pressure is just going to simply, be higher than the buying pressure. And in this market, that's very easy to achieve. So I would be careful. Some people just talk about altcoins in the comments. I don't know if they want me to take a look at it, but if not, then you just should shut up. So let me take a look at altcoins, right? Somebody talked about Litecoin. Now, this is an interesting one. You know why I don't talk about Litecoin? Let me put it in this list right here. Because if you look at Litecoin on its dollar pair, then you might feel like, okay, you know what, Litecoin, it's cheaper than Bitcoin. And it's kind of designed to do the same, right? And it's really old and it's doing okay. On the other hand, Litecoin has been going sideways since 2017. This is almost as bad as XRP. You don't want to be invested in that crap. Sorry for that. Not stepping on toes though. But just by looking at this chart, I'd be like, yeah, I will never invest in this. No matter like what the use cases are, what they're trying to accomplish with it, what it's supposed to do. If it was really that great, then the chart wouldn't be looking like this. Sideways for 7 freaking years. That's not great. Plus, you always want to look at a coin on its Bitcoin pair. Okay? Now, if you look at Litecoin on its Bitcoin pair, look what it did. It's down only since like the first day it existed. Right, since 2013, it has been going down. So although Litecoin might be going sideways and a little up, Bitcoin is going up way harder. So why would you invest in this? Why not in Bitcoin then? Because maybe someday in 2086, it will pump harder. Yeah, fuck that. I want to make money now, right? At least in this cycle. And yeah, I don't know. Based on the last decennia, it's not doing anything. So why should it do anything this cycle? So if you look at coins specifically for the narrative, I get that it's easy to marry a certain project. I fell in love with some projects as well, but I had to go back and remind myself like, yeah, okay, but the chart is where the money is. How does that look? And if it looks like this, yeah, then it's very simple. Then you should just stay far away. Somebody asked to do a video on low caps. I can do that. So guys, let me know which low caps would you like me to take a look at. List them down below and I can definitely put them in the next video. Okay, Shrapnel. It's all-time low and it's only 2x from the private sale price. Real dilution will start from November. So Shrapnel, let's take a look at Shrapnel. I had some Shrapnel in my portfolio, but I think I sold it because of the vesting. Yeah, the vesting isn't great, right? $34 million market cap, which is in these times, like, it's okay for a single crypto game. It has a lot of potential in the market where the market actually allows these crypto games to go up. But then again, 188 fully diluted. I am not so sure about that. Also, the thing is though, that, you know, this one went down already from December 2023. Right now, if you want to compare stuff, right? You want to compare to get, you know, a general idea of how something is doing. And you could look at a chart like this, like, wow, look how low it is right now. But that's also what you could have thought over here or here or here or here. So that doesn't matter, right? In a couple of weeks it can be way lower. That's catching a falling knife. That's not what you want to do. So you want to look at it like that. It's been going down from December last year. Well, December last year, that was when the altcoin market overall started to really rip, right? And only from March, the altcoin market went down. But this thing already went down way before that, right? It went from 40 cents to 18 cents. In a market that made altcoins do 3, 4, 5x's, if not more. So this was a big underperformer. So therefore I would be careful in a market that's now going down, because you notice that once the market goes up, this goes down. Once the market goes down, this thing also goes down. So what does it take for this thing to go up? Yeah, it might be sitting at the all-time low, but again, maybe you could say the same thing in a month. You know, I could be wrong, right? And you could hate me for that. Maybe in a couple of weeks, months, this thing is like all the way up and it will never go back to where it is right now. But just based on what I see right now, I would say, yeah, I'm not completely sure. Somebody said that Launchpad's new tokens dump harder in this dip. Yeah, and I thought you meant Launchpad tokens, so therefore I said great buys. I thought like CDFI, etc. But if you mean new tokens on the market that are released by Launchpads, yeah, then they definitely dump harder, because they didn't have the time yet to build a community as much as other projects that give the buying pressure. Plus they have a lot of dilution, right? So if I go to my Launchpad vesting list, yeah, this is red as hell, right? Codex, for example, look, this is how it looks right now. In the market where altcoins had the chance, right, at the beginning of this year, you could see that these projects pump harder than average, but they also dump harder than average, because these market caps also are so extremely low. AiTech as well had a great run, but it's also one of the biggest losers in this market right now with 74%. I'm getting a Windows update. Fuck my life. Xverse as well. Nice pump, extreme dump right now. So I am talking a lot about Launchpads and being early in crypto, but at this stage of the market, to be honest, it's just not working out, right? You have to understand who is pumping the tokens that you bought in the pre-sale. In this case, nobody, because everybody's wrecked. So these tokens bleed because they have no buying pressure and more tokens hitting the market, so more selling pressure. So this will, once this turns around, it will turn around heavy, right? And in this list, I can guarantee you that in this list, you will find some coins that are going to blow up once alt season happens, right? Like really blow up in this list. But for now, it's quite hard to tell which one that's going to be. Multiple people, they said Octavia. And Octavia, it's an AI project, and it also, I think, started its own Launchpad. And yeah, as you can see, Octavia, it came out, right, at a cent. Well, wait, is that true? No, sorry, at 10 cents. It shot all the way up to 3 whatever. Nah, slightly lower. But it did a 29x, right? A 29x. Crazy shit. And the thing is, it wasn't even like that much of a wick. It actually held these high levels quite a while, right? So the people in the pre-sale, yeah, they made money and they got their initial back, and that's what you want, right? But now it's slightly above ideal price, slightly, right? So also, like, it's been going down, lower lows, lower highs. You know, I get that you want to compare it to the price where it came out, But again, if you look, for example, at an Xverse, which I just happen to have on my screen, it doesn't have to mean that this is the bottom. So these are, at this stage of the market, the highest risk coins there are. Well, except for the Solana meme coins. These are like Russian roulette of crypto. Okay, I invest in Casper. It's the biggest bag right now. Casper, I heard about it. Let me take a look if I can find CSPR. Yeah, that's the right one. I guess a lot of people buy that because I heard more often. But this is terrible. Again, this is, I hope that, yeah, you said this is your biggest bag. I don't want to be the bringer of bad news. It's like, but let's be honest, okay? I know that people would like it way more if I would be sitting here like, yeah, fuck yeah, Casper is going to the moon, Render is going to the moon, Litecoin will not be a stable coin anymore, XRP will finally start doing something someday, right? But in reality, this thing is crashing hard, and this is a really bad chart, okay? This is a, like, again, to quote Crown, how he would say it, a previous cycle shitcoin which is going to the trash can, right? Why do I say that? Well, look at Bitcoin. It's so simple when you look at this, okay? Look at Bitcoin. Where is it sitting? Zoom out, compare where it came from. Where is it sitting? Near the highs, right? Where's Casper sitting? Made a new low. Right? It's not even that this thing is sitting like somewhere in the top of this range or at the highs like Bitcoin, but it just made a new low, right? So if anything, if you look at this chart, you have to look at it like this, right? When did it made a new low? Last week. Okay. So when was the best time ever to buy this thing? Well, maybe last week. But other than that, never. So simple. Never. And therefore I also said you always want to look at altcoins on their Bitcoin pair. Why? If it's underperforming against Bitcoin, then you should have just bought Bitcoin because, well, apparently the returns with Bitcoin are higher and the risk with Bitcoin is lower, right? But I can already tell you that the Bitcoin pair is going to be looking awful. Look at this. I charted it before, right? Since I've drawn this pattern, I don't know when it was, probably somewhere over here last year, but since then it's down another 70% against Bitcoin. So this is completely falling down the drain. And for the people that have no interest in Casper itself, doesn't really matter, but this is just how I look at these charts, right? It's not holding up against Bitcoin. So why would this be interesting in a altcoin season, right? If it now cannot hold, then why would it outperform? Unfortunately, I see a lot. I want some altcoins that are looking good. Otherwise, I'll look like such a dick. But I see a lot of people talk about ICP. Okay, ICP, Internet Computer. So let's take a look at ICP. And why do I say unfortunately? Well, it doesn't look as bad as Casper, I think, but it's not that great, right? It's not that great. ICP from the exact lows until where we are right now, it's 180%. Okay, again, if you look at Bitcoin from the lows until where we are right now, it is 290%. So again, a high risk coin underperforms compared to a low risk coin. So it wasn't worth it to buy this one. Again, if you look at ICP on its Bitcoin pair, then you will see that it's not looking so great, right? It's sitting at the lows basically, and it had some good support over here, which I drawn ever, I don't know, as well. That broke, right? That completely broke. So what it did basically, it was down forever since 2021, since May even, right? Since then it was down only. Then in this period where altcoins had a bounce, ICP just bounced with it. And now it just continues its way lower, lower, lower. What you also want to notice is if an altcoin looked like this is really bad. Because in 2021, we had the Bitcoin top, first top in May, right? That's why altcoins stopped with it. But then the second top, the highest top, was in November. And that's where altcoins were really running harder, right? What you notice here in April. we had the Bitcoin top and it was sitting at 65k, and then in November it topped once again at 69k, right? So Bitcoin went slightly higher over there. If you look at the altcoin market, the altcoin market top at 425 billion, and the second top was 490 billion. So the altcoin market had a pretty much bigger run in the November period. But this one, in May, it topped, and then if you go to November, you can see that it was already, how much lower was it already? Like 86% or so. Right, so from that point, this point was already the point that people should have been like, okay, this is bad stuff. This is a bad sign. Let's get out. And if they did, they saved themselves another 90% dip, I want to say, but just 90% complete wreckage. So again, not saying that this cannot go somewhere in the future and it can bounce, but I would never personally invest in this one. Casper, we talked about it in the last video. Open GPU network. I heard about it. I saw it. GPU. And it is super low cap. So, of course, extremely high risk project it is. But it's interesting, right? In April, it came out apparently. And it was sitting at, what was it, 10 cents, 10 cents, give or take, and it pumped completely hard, and now it is correcting, so it's now 50 cents. Okay, it might find this level of around 30, 35 maybe if it goes on like this. If that holds, it's a great buy. But I am quite interested in this project. I just want to see more information about team, etc. And it's only on Uniswap, of course, like all these GPU and AI projects are. They're never on CEXs for some reason. So, but it's an interesting for a micro cap. It's interesting. Yeah. Can you please take a look at Dime? I don't know that one. Dime. Let's take a look. Dimension 280. Yeah, okay. I can already see that this is not great, but I don't know about investing, so I don't want to be too judgmental, but it's not perfect. Yeah, it has been oh, yeah, okay. So that's a little sad thing, right? They have been decreasing with the rest of the market, but unfortunately, that's also where they released. They couldn't see this coming, of course, but they happened to release right before the market went down. So it's hard to tell what their real value is, to put it like that, right? You don't know, like, hey, you know, was this a pump because the project was just going strong, or was this a pump because the market was just very strong at that point? And is it now decreasing because the market is decreasing, or is it decreasing because the project is trying to find its real value? So for me, also given the market cap, I would say it's way too early. I mean, it might bounce here at 150, but it might as well go to 10 cents. Like, that's very risky with these things. So this is a kind of chart I would really wait on for it to really bottom out, right? So don't try to time that bottom. Wait for it to bounce, confirm that the downtrend is over, and then you at least know, like, okay, cool, we're relative safe on this one, because this could go, like I said, it could bounce here. It could bounce 99% lower. It's really hard to tell on that one. Yeah, also a lot requested. Could you review OrangeDX? Yeah, I did before it came out. We were in the pre-sale. Let me see. Yeah, that's this one. We were in the pre-sale. And this is the Bitcoin hub, basically. So for BRC20 tokens. And That's also a narrative that was like really hot, and all of a sudden it completely died off. I should not ignore it. I think the BRC20 and the ordinals and the runes are really coming back, especially now altcoins are getting so wrecked. Like, people are gonna look more into Bitcoin, I think. So this might be an interesting one. Again, also same story. They released in the downtrend, basically. So this chart has been down only. They had a sick bounce right here. I don't know what happened, But for some reason, it wasn't sustainable, right? It was like going up very hard, got sold off, and now we're basically back like in a downtrend like this didn't happen. So that's a little concerning. If we look at OrangeDX on CoinMarketCap, it usually has a bit more information. That's really nice. For a new project, their dilution is great. So they have a market cap of 3 mil, but a fully diluted of 6 mil. Hey, can it go to 500k market cap? Yeah, of course, right? But I don't know. I feel like this might be one. They have good volume as well. Might be a good one. Might be a really good one. So yeah, might add it to my own watch list again. I was in the pre-sale, but I sold it. I just wanted to have my initial back, and I did, luckily. Please make a complete video on Taboo coin. Yeah, bro, I don't even know that coin. I'm not going to dedicate a complete video about it, of course, but I can take a quick look at what it is and how it looks like. So we have Taboo coin right here. This is with a $3 million market cap, fully diluted is the same, so that's at least nice. Price act. Ooh. Okay, so the thing is that this thing went completely nuts in the bull market, had a big blow off top. Right? It went from a market cap from nothing to around 400 million. And it's now at 3 million. Then you want to ask yourself, like, is it at 3 million because it's now really cheap? Or should we just admit that this thing is dead? Because when everything in crypto bounced, well, this bounced also 4x. So that's not a valid argument. I will take a look into it. I don't even know what it is. But it might... From this chart, it looks like the typical 2021 coin that did very well, which is basically just dead in 2024. Okay, morning FOMO. Will you please check Sidus Heroes, Myria, Enjinstarter, and Start Atlas? I have a bag of those. Your input can help me reshuffle. Yeah, reshuffling is great. So I said it in one of the last videos. If you're out of cash, but you feel like I want to get the most out of this, you could just sell one token or part of it and put it into another token, right? That way you're not out of the market, but you get yourself in a better position. Okay. That's really specific, but I can take a look really quick. Sidus is a project that I have in my portfolio as well. $40 million market cap right now. Sidus was a huge outperformer, right? If you look at the market cap right here, it came from 7 million, 20 million, whatever. Bam, 150. Crazy shit. And it's now back at 40. This is beautiful. I think it's going to 20. Why? Because this was that huge support, right? This level right here, 40 million, etc. For 45, 50, basically 55, but it broke. So the next support, just very based on this bullshit chart right here, seems to be here. If it gets there, it looks like a great buying opportunity. So can it go twice as low? Yeah. I mean, why did this thing pump so hard? Very simple, because they announced that they were going to turn into a Launchpad as well. And when people have money in the market, what's the thing that blows up the hardest? Launchpads, right? That's also the thing that I'm going to buy heavy on in this correction. Launchpad tokens. It's a no-brainer, right? Therefore, Sidus also blew up like it did. But in a downwards market, again, Launchpads are like completely fucked as well. Therefore, they're so great to trade, right? Because they are very explosive to both sides. So therefore, this thing is going down so hard right now. So I do feel like Sidus might go to around 20 million, right? Around that level. That would be a great entry if you ask me. Let's first do Enjinstarter, because Enjinstarter is same, right? It's also a Launchpad. I also have it in my portfolio. Micro cap at the moment, and Enjinstarter was like, if you look at the year, it's been going down only. So this is not the year. Here we go. I thought it did make sense. If you look at Enjinstarter over the year, it went from 0.003 all the way to 0.01. So it had a good pump. It had a really good pump, and now it's back at that 3 level. So it looks like, yeah, Overall, it doesn't really matter, right? If you look at where it came from, but that's also because of market cap, right? Here it had a market cap of 50 million. It completely died after 1.5 million, and now it was back at 40 million, right? So market cap here was the same basically as here. Then why didn't the price like, yeah, therefore you should not take a look at prices, but at market caps, right? Because people that feel, some people look at this chart and be like, oh yeah, what if it goes back there? Well, bad news, it already went back there, but now with way more tokens in circulation, so the price is lower. So this is the perfect chart that says, look at the right things, manage your expectations. Price is not going back here. You can forget about that. It already went back. However, when you look at market cap, it's sitting at some support. Worst case scenario, it goes to maybe 8 million or something. That's a 33% decrease, something like that. So even Enjinstarter can take a real good hit, but I am pretty sure that it can come back at these levels pretty easy. Now, Myria, I haven't taken a look at that in a long time, to be honest. $70 million market cap, 180 fully diluted, so it's not a huge difference. But if you look at the price, it came down way harder than the average coin, right? Way harder. And we could pop up a chart right here to make it a little bit more clear what we're looking at. So if we fucking hell, sorry for the demonetization right here, but fucking hell, yeah, not looking so great for Myria, to be honest. It had a great hype once it came out, and after that it declined, and for some reason it pumped hard. It was mainly because crypto gaming was the hype, and everybody felt like, yeah, crypto games are great, and now the market is down, everybody be like, oh, crypto gaming is dead. Great, you buy the dead shit and you will be fine, okay? And of course Alex Beckett talked about it, because everything he talks about, every idiot will buy that, of course. Then they did a 15x. That's beautiful, right? But since then it's also down almost 80%. Myria is a falling knife at the moment. With Myria, I would be more careful. I don't know about that. It very well can come back to these levels, and that's another 50-60% correction, something like that, right? So I would be careful, and I would be really careful with Myria. And then you also asked about Star Atlas. Now, I don't know if you talk about Star or Polis, because they have two tokens, but if we look at Polis, it's, the chart says it, right? This pattern, you should work at the McDonald's. Now, Polis is, for now, it looks like this is a bottom range, right? If you look at it like this, hey, glass is half full, right? Bottom range, great buy. Could be. I don't know if that's the case though. If it bounces, if it does something like this, then I would say this is the great area to buy. This is not the great area to buy, because it can do this, right? So again, you can here buy at the same level as over here, but at least with confirmation that you are in an uptrend and not in a downtrend. You have the same reward, but less risk. So that's the best play, in my opinion, to do so. If we look at Star, because that's also a Star Atlas token, then we see $40 million market cap. Yeah. I don't know. It depends a little bit, I think, on what Solana is going to do. If the Solana hype is coming back, then this thing will blow up, because gaming will blow up. And if Solana goes well as well, then the combination is great, because it's getting more and more low cap as it is. And if we look at the market cap, we're sitting at around 20 million for a long time. So it might try to find that level as support now. So I would wait a little bit on this one. Ondo. Okay, let's take a look at Ondo. I don't know exactly what it is, because it's quite new and I've never looked at it. But the price chart is telling, fuck it, buy this, right? It's super simple. The market is going down, right? So your token should be going down with it. This thing has fuck that. Let's go up. And that's great, man. Because if this thing can go up in a downwards market, then how do you think this is going to do in an upwards market? Pretty cool. I I'm not a fan of what I'm seeing right here. It's quite high cap already, especially the fully diluted, super high cap. So this is probably not going to be your 100x token. But if you want to make some good returns, then it looks to be a good project. You know, the disclaimer is also always that it, you know, shit could happen to the project. And then everything that I say about this doesn't make any sense. But this looks really good. This looks really good. It's outperforming everything. However, the market is lately taking a hit, of course, and it's not completely immune. It went from the top right here of 150, give or take, now to 112. Yeah, if we look at how much resistance there was at around 80-90 cents, I would say that it would make sense that it touches that level before the next leg up. And this would be a great buying opportunity, in my opinion. AiTech is sitting at the 786 support, really interesting project. Let's take a look at AiTech. AiTech is an interesting project, definitely. Let's try to see where it, it bounced off the 786 exactly. So that's a strong level. However, a lot of projects are now breaking through that 786. So I would like to see if it really holds, or that it just, you know, goes down, wicks, goes up, and then breaks. I don't want to be too early on that. But yeah, no, we all participate. Well, we not all, but we talked a lot about this before the pre-sale. So a lot of people here, they had the chance to join the pre-sale. And even though the market being down, this thing is still up 10x from pre-sale price. So that's beautiful, of course. And it went up all the way 50x or so. I made some really good money with this one. Because it went up so hard, it has to correct so hard as well, right? 74%. But yeah, I think that this 11 cent level, give or take 11, 12, is a great buying opportunity. But maybe not, like, I don't know. Let's see how it performs right here. I'd rather buy at 14, but at least with some confirmation that it was holding, than taking a gamble at 11 and that it then breaks, right? But yeah, they provide a lot of AI tools, and AI is going to be big. It's very simple to use as well. They have their own Launchpad, which I'm actually not that much of a fan of because of the insane, ridiculous low allocations that you're getting right there. But then again, they're doing it. Please review FET and Agix. Yeah. RMD's coins are going to somehow fuse, like a Super Saiyan fusion or something like that, and turn into one coin. I heard about something like that. Anyway, Fetch, let me take a look. It's crazy shit, right? Oh yeah, AZ token. So, a super intelligence. Wow, that sounds crazy dangerous. Super artificial intelligence. Okay. So that's something you want to take a look at, because I don't know about specifics. So I don't know if this is actually a good buy, that you can better way to buy the AC token. But FET had some crazy shit during the AI hype. And then it depends on if you're believing that the AI hype is coming back in this market. And I think it will. So again, definitely not your 100x project, but could it do a steady 10x? Yes, I think it can. SingularityNet, Agix, were people in the community calling this coin like way down here somewhere, and I completely ignored that, like the real dick I am. Anyway, same hype from 20 cents all the way to 140, give or take, and now it's sitting at 60. Lower cap. Good dilutions, so that's good to see. It's interesting because also we had this resistance here, and now it like looks to be going towards that point, right, of 50 cents, give or take. Might be interesting place, yeah, for sure. Okay, somebody said, love you. Okay, so that's already love, no matter what it says right here. But he says, I think that the XRP price prediction is really unfair because I made a joke about XRP, right? Okay, so, and it goes a little like this, right? Because XRP is just not doing anything, and it's basically down since 2017. And also, if you look at XRP on its Bitcoin pair, you know, then you can just see that it topped and it never came back in the last 7 years. So yeah, that's for me another reason to invest. But it could, like, it is, I must admit, it is sitting at like decennial macro support, right? So it could bounce here and finally do something. But overall, being an XRP so far was not worth it, right? People have missed out on so many other great things while waiting on this thing to do anything, and it basically only went down. But he says it's been under a lawsuit since 2018, etc. But the lawsuit is already over, right? They won. XRP won, as far as I know, at least. And what I noticed is that from the moment the news came out that they won, which was over here, they had an insane pump, 60% in a week, right? Probably even in a day. And the thing is, now they're just back at it. So therefore I'm mocking XRP a little bit, because XRP was not doing shit, okay? For 7 years, it's sideways. And everybody always says, like, yeah, but wait until the lawsuit is over, then we gonna fly. And then the lawsuit was over and it's back at where it was. Like, okay, now what, right? Like, what's left in the can for XRP then? So I don't think anything, but maybe there is some lawsuit shit that I don't know about. But nevertheless, it doesn't show it in the chart, man. So I just don't feel like, oh yeah, let's wait for some specific news on a coin, and 7 years later we're still waiting, and just wait. And in the meantime, you do miss out. So I'm not a fan of that, man. Somebody said all these altcoins are shit. I only buy ICP. Yeah, so we talked about that. I'm very happy for you. I hope it works out someday. For now, rip. Yeah, I made a video where I said that I pivoted my points on Volcan Forged. And somebody said, I could have sworn you were preaching XRP not too long ago. Well, I talked about XRP. Shit, misspoke. I talked about Volcan Forged being a part of my portfolio as well. Exactly. And therefore, in the last video, I said, like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to change that because it just not looks good anymore, right? Sometimes you can stick to a certain belief that you have, but if your principles are going to cost you money, then you have to ask yourself what's more important. And I was trading this whole Volcan Forged range, and my bag was free, luckily, right? And then it broke out, took my profits. So I traded it quite nicely, pretty happy with that. But in the meantime, I love the project. I love what they're doing. I love the founders. They're doing a great job. And I wanted to have a big bag, right? But the thing is, though, that Volcan Forged, no matter what the project is doing right now, the price just turned out to be heavily underperforming, right? Since this point, basically, it broke down and it just makes new lows, not cycle lows, new ever lows. So I do feel like, yeah, am I going to be just as stubborn as an XRP holder? Sorry for that again. And be like, yeah, but just wait. One day it will, like, yeah, but in the meantime, I'm not only missing out, I'm losing money, right? So better to pivot on this one and be like, okay, this didn't work out as planned, and move on. And then there will be people saying, I had some people saying, you suck. Fuck do you want? Like, not everything can go the way you want. That's not how crypto works. If it was that easy, then I wouldn't be sitting here. I can tell you that, right? So sometimes you make a trade and you win. Sometimes you make a trade and you lose. Well, lost on this one. Fuck it. Next. It doesn't matter. But it's better to take a small loss than to prevent a bigger loss than to take that bigger loss. That's not the way I like to invest. These are the altcoins for today as requested, at least not all of them, but most of them. My new crypto portfolio will go over these entry exit points soon as well. I have some real micro caps, but again, they're still bleeding, right? So I'm a little cautious with that. Virtual poker points, for example, I still think that narrative is good, right? But if I can buy it twice as cheap as now, saves me money, and I can make twice as much money when it pumps as well. But there's some real gems in here, right? Real gems. Not this one maybe, but there are gems in there. So please guys, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. And if you have any coins you would like to request me to take a look at, I am not here to tell you that I like your coin so that you like me. I'm just here to give you my honest opinion, and I might be wrong about that later, and then you can laugh at me. I might be right about that, and then I might have, you know, helped you a little bit with it. I've no clue. But my job that I gave myself is for everybody on this channel to make it. So come, make it with me, guys. We can do this.